Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are going to be continuing and finishing off the narration and character voice acting for the I Portatori de VELLUTI story. Right then, final part, we're finally here and that means, well, it means the usual here in the final part, but before we do so, to anybody bumping into the voiceover through this very episode, you can find the full playlist for this and the other connecting stories to I Portatori in the description of this video, so just hit those up and enjoy and thank you very much. But yeah, final part, and like I said, this is gonna be the usual. We're gonna be including the battle stage, the boss battle stage that is in today's episode as well. A bit more on that when we get to it, but that will be in it. And of course, at the end of the episode, I will be talking a bit off the cuff about the story and stuff like that. There's a couple of things that I do want to mention. But they're all mostly technical stuff. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Before we do so, it's time for a quick recap, and as always, to those of you who wanna skip the recap, you can do so with the timestamps provided down below in the pinned comment in the comment section below. But yeah, anyhow, last time we started in the port with Emperor and High Priest helping with the repair of the floats. Naomi is with them there too to deliver some freshly made pizzas. In another part of the city, Agonir is seen interacting with the citizens of Nuova Volsinii. And back at De Montanos, Ingrid is sharpening her blade as she has seemingly discovered who the person is that hurt and infected Lisa. Back in the port, Gambino is seen interacting with a worker that works for the Venezias, but Lappland shows up. The Venezia guy calls out to Gambino to kill Lappland, but he offs him off instead, much to Lappland's amusement. A bit later, the Carnevale begins, and the beast aristocrats, Emperor, High Priest and Dolly, can be seen mingling with the crowd. Back at the hospital, Demetri finds Leon awake, and the two of them head into town and to Leon's later speech at Court Square. Meanwhile, Caesar tells Red where Vargo's fang, Umberto, is. Next to Court Square, Antonio is meeting with Capone in a residence that belongs to him and plans to oversee the action from there, and in the square the attack begins, but gets stopped with the appearance of the Truckers Union and Irene. From here, the Mafia and the Truckers Union are locked in a standstill as neither side can do a thing. Somewhere in the city, the parade with Leon and Demetri in it is making its way slowly towards Court Square, and back in the square, the standoff gets shaken up by the appearance of a giant landship in the middle of the city. It's a landship that's owned by the Venezias, but it has been hijacked by Lappland and decorated like a stage. She delivers a speech to everyone present and starts dumping all the weapons on board the ship to the people below. Antonio, who is pissed at all of this, leaves his hiding place and heads into an alley behind the building to reach the square, but there he gets intercepted by Capone, who sold him out to Ingrid. Back on the deck of the ship, Texas lands to confront Lappland, and the Signore de Lupi are also on the ship and are deciding to lock themselves into place until their game is complete. Vargo disobeys that rule as he's seen stopping matters from getting worse between Gambino and Lucino, and all the while on the deck of the ship, Lappland is making a bet with Texas about the outcome of the standoff between the Mafia and the Truckers Union. So yeah, everything is ready to explode or not. We'll see how that goes. So today we are obviously, like I said, gonna be finishing off our story here with the final battle stage and the post cutscene and round everything up. But yeah, battle stage will be in this thing. We're pretty much gonna be going from cutscene into battle into cutscene back to back with no interruptions in between. I will read out the boss description once we're done with the stage. One thing I will say here up front immediately. There is a bit of text blurb, like speech of the boss during the battle, but the boss battle speech is pretty much just a thing of, hey, here is the mechanic, you win, and I'm gonna make it easier for you. It's pretty much just that. So because of it, I'm mentioning it because the blurb doesn't appear when you're autoing the stage, and I'm recording this stuff from an auto perspective because it's easier to record and much smoother, so we're gonna do that. And yeah, it really doesn't contribute to anything outside of being a bit funny and at the same time being like, haha, you're telling me what to do, kind of in the middle of the battle tutorial kind of style. But I just want to mention that very quickly because it will not appear when you set the stage to auto. But yeah, outside of that, let's begin. Stage 10, titled Gunshot. The city waits for a gunshot. Are you awake, pup? I don't know what's sadder for Umberto, to slowly waste away from age and illness, or to watch how his pups get dumber with each generation. How sad and pathetic, humans. You're... The memory is blurry, but Lucino remembers the voice. The night that Umberto brought him back to Taylor de Montano. Sitting on a chair, Lucino looked blankly at the unfamiliar room before him, filled with various fabrics and tools. Umberto was outside talking to someone. Suddenly, he turns around, and through the window, Lucino thought Umberto was showing him to someone else, but does not see who it is. His grandfather, his only living relation, Lucino feels his stomach churn with nervousness. Then he hears a voice mixed with anger and resignation exclaim, "Shameless human, up to the same old tricks again." Are you... Nono's friend? Friend, teacher, master, employer, client. My relationship with Umberto is not so easily defined. I am the master of these wilds, pup, and your grandfather is my fang. A most incompetent one, I might add. Guess I'm really getting old. No matter how long I sat by the work table, the nights never felt this long. And I would have noticed you coming in. When?
10 minutes ago.
Do you mind if I kept working while we talked? I was delayed by an old friend's unexpected visit. I must hurry and finish the most important work on this suit. Lucino can take care of the final touch-ups himself.
Why? I smell no scent of wolf from you, even a little bit. Nor have you masked it in any unusual way. I was watching, I can tell. Are you really the last true wolf?
True wolf? Ah, you mean the fangs. Yes, you've come to the right place, young one. I observed Umberto for a long time. I watched him serve customers of every kind, casually putting his scissors through some of their throats while taking measurement without getting a single drop of blood on himself. He was not a warrior like Ingrid, but he was smart and he knew how to make the most of who he was. He was also good at disguising himself. He spent most of his time in Taylor de Montano, and he was equally in demand as a tailor as he was as an assassin. That's why I chose him. I told him about the Signore de Lupi and the existence of the game.
Nono's stories were true. You're the wolf from the stories. No wonder he wanted to leave the famiglia. He was the Signore de Lupi's chosen, the most special tailor in Siracusa. He sure is very lucid. Did Nono accept your deal?
No fang can reject the Signore de Lupi. But Umberto set a condition.
Condition?
He was not the first fang to try to bargain with the Signore de Lupi. Impertinent fools. I know 100 ways to destroy them and find someone else to take their place.
What did Nona want to do?
Umberto wanted to raise his pup to adulthood before delivering my victory. His wife had passed away, he said, and his young pup, Luca, was too young to survive without him.
That was it?
That was it. I agreed. The society of humans was no more dangerous than the wilderness. I did not imagine it would take up so much of his time and energy. I visited the tailor shop from time to time to make sure he was not deceiving me. That day, Umberto shut down his assassination business, devoting all his time to the sewing machine, fabric, and the young pup as it grew. But his hands were still steady and his eyes still sharp. Therefore, I kept my promise. I needed a fang that would not break, not easily distracted prey. I gave him time. I had plenty of it.
But Papa,
died meaninglessly. I gave Umberto plenty of time to recover from the shock. It may not have been how Umberto planned it, but at least now he was no longer burdened. And so one night I visited him again and demanded that he hold up his end of the bargain. But my fang once again bargained with me.
The Signore de Lupi pauses and glares at the young tailor before him. Do you mean,
He learned that his pup had a pup of its own, the last family he had. He wanted to raise you to adulthood too, before the hunt begins.
Shameless human up to the same old tricks again. That was you.
This time I did not assent, but he seems to have forgotten who he was and who I was to him. Every time I pressed him, he babbles something like how life keeps repeating itself, while shamelessly promising that he will hold up his end of the bargain.
But Nona was never in good health, as long as I could remember.
My fang could hardly defend himself now, much less deliver my victory. The only result of my patience was that he had grown old.
Nona actually...
I know he's only ever cared about his shop, the suits he made, and the people he loved. That's why he did those things, which he was never made for. Umberto was a fool. I was wrong about him.
Why are you telling me all this, Signore de Lupi?
All my effort and patience have only earned me an eternity of scorn from the pack for breaking the rules of the game. You are his pup. Now you must face punishment.
Punishment?
All your efforts tonight will be futile, whether you are trying to destroy the weapons or destroy the ship. Look down at your chest.
Lucino looks down and sees that the front of his jacket has flown open. He must have dropped his button in the chaos.
Whatever you want to become, pup, Learn to sew your own buttons first. Now get lost. Get back to Umberto. You are a terrible actor, Vargo. That mock anger. Were you afraid we would harm that pup? He was not part of the game. Have you forgotten the decision of the pack, Vargo? The Signore de Lupi shall stay here until this round is decided, and shall not intervene in any manner. Or else... I've already lost Caesar. The silvery Signore de Lupi suddenly looks up. He casts his gaze towards a corner of the city, a city engulfed in revelry, the night sky bright as day. No one notices that a certain cloud has dispersed. The wind brings a familiar scent. Red has done her work. I won't be shameless like Zaro, Caesar. I have gone against the decision of the pack, and I shall accept my punishment. Are you mourning your fang? Just bitter about losing.
I wouldn't have found you without Grandma's help.
Grandma? That's how you call your wolf? I've never thought of them as being particularly kindly. But then, Varga must have figured out a long time ago that he was being deceived. There's a soft heart there, underneath the surface.
You won't resist either?
Either?
The last true wolf that I killed didn't resist. She just watched me pierce her chest as she cuddled her limp leg. She sighed and muttered, "Finally, no need to live in fear anymore."
Sounds like death was a relief to her. Well, it's not as if I stood any chance if I tried to resist. Besides, I don't mind this chat going on for a while longer. It would ruin this new suit if we started fighting right now. Almost there. Measure, cut, shape, trim. That's how plain cloth becomes stylish clothes. There are about 450 steps to a standard Siracusa suit, but it doesn't take as much time as one might think if you go about them step by step, calmly and patiently. The sound of the sewing machine stops. The old tailor trims away the protruding threads, gets up from his chair, and walks by the huntress to hang the new suits on the wall. He sighs, rubs his swollen eyes, and lies down on a sofa in a corner. Do you mind if I lie down? At this age, I get dizzy whenever I work for an extended period of time.
Grandma was right. True wolves are good at disguising themselves. I do not understand why you don't smell of wolf, but it doesn't change what you did to Grandma. You ate Grandma's eyes, arms, and heart. Answer me, True Wolf. Why do you engage in such a cruel game?
I see. That's how you understand the game to be like. I take it you asked the last Fang you killed the same question. I don't have an answer either, young one. We were all chosen by fate, by happenstance. Whether it is lies or the truth that accompanies us, however, all of it will converge upon a single end. What will you do when the time comes?
Find the other true wolves who escaped me. Her bow is weak. She is no match for me.
No, what I mean is, what happens when you've killed all the true wolves?
Then the game ends and Grandma is saved.
And what about you? Where will you go from there? What will you do? Have you been seeking out and killing true wolves all this time? Project Red waggles her ears.
No, I was helping Kaltsit. There are many things at Rhode Island that I need to do.
The huntress bows her head.
I have wasted too much time.
The cold glint of a dagger shines out of Red's sleeves. She had been holding it all this time.
You're not afraid, true wolf?
Of course I'm afraid. I always am, whether you're here or not. My health has been in a steady decline for a long time. You can't help but be afraid when you know that you don't have much time left. But at least I was not like the one you spoke of, who spent a long time waiting for death's visit. That's much scarier than death. Come to think of it, I didn't really achieve anything in my life. A killer who racked up a mountain of blood debts. A father who watched his son die. A grandfather who doesn't know how to teach his grandson. A fang who never played the game. But I was a good tailor. A lucky old man. How many can say that they were doing the work they loved on their deathbed? I'll leave the finishing touch to you, Lucino. Red does not raise her dagger. She does not need to. The old man on the sofa is no longer breathing, as though he had expended his last bit of strength to finish the suit. Red gazes unblinkingly at the old man's face. She had seen the deaths of many, all of whom had died with an expression like a mask on their faces. Even the limp true wolf that was waiting for death had terror on her face when Red came in, which only changed to relief in her final moments. As for the reunion members in Lungmen ruins and those who invaded Rhode Island, their faces were twisted from rage or fear. But the expression on the face of the old man before her never changed, from the moment she walked into the Taylor de Montano to this very instant. Red was finally certain that he was not disguising himself. Was the man really who Grandma said he was? The true wolf died before the huntress, but not by the huntress's hand. Doubt fills Red's heart. Where will you go from here? What will you do?
I don't understand, Grandma.
"15 minutes until parade arrives at Court Square."
Seems like you hate Siracusa even more than I do. You think I'm doing this for revenge? No. I've already said goodbye to my past exes. Maybe there wasn't a formal ceremony, but it doesn't make it any less serious. I didn't tell you how I became a taxi driver, did I? I never asked. Zara and I came across this pile of scrap metal in the wilderness. The two of you got together? Not many people would interrupt me like this, you know. Yes, he's my lackey now. A few Siracusans came to Nuova Volsinii together, but started brawling it out in the wilderness for no reason, and the car ended up in front of me. Siracusa invited, so I had to answer, just like you had to return to Volsinii last year. Are you absolutely sure you're not just recalling the plot of a radio program? Hey, I would be happy to sell the story to a radio station or filmmaker. I think it'll make a good road movie. 1 year ago, I was sitting at the table in the Grey Hall with you when you won this new nomadic city from the Befana Sicilia. You could call me one of the startup investors in this youthful dream of a new Siracusa. Of course, I needed to be here at the 1 year anniversary of Nuova Volsinii to celebrate with my friends. You know, I think I deserve some gratitude for all the problems I dealt with behind the scenes to make sure the festival proceeds without a hitch. Like scattering weapons across the square? Much more than just that. Such as? Such as my dear father, who is quite, let's say, ambitious about his plans for the new city. I thought Alberto was in custody. Oh, come on, haven't you spent enough time in my family to know what a stronzo de saluto don is? He wouldn't tolerate the thought of anything being outside of his control, despite his failure at Volsinii, despite the vigilance of Nuova Volsinii City Hall and courts against his interference. What did you do? Took a few things out of his control, that's all. You'll find out soon enough. Are you sure you're not doing this for revenge? Well, I guess that's a matter of interpretation. Oh, and these masked youths on the square. You remember seeing their boss, that cheerful Pero, in court? Venezia Jr. It's often those who despise the game the most who understand the rules most thoroughly. He and his Venezia trucking have never been in violation of the new Urban Management Act. As a matter of fact, he is a 2-time winner of the Outstanding Young Entrepreneur Award. He might hate Siracusa more than either of us Texas, but he knows how to read the winds better than most wolves. But what? I don't like his hairstyle. Too oily. I prefer Vulpos who aren't so much like wolves. A Vulpa mother from a distant land, who returned to Siracusa to seek justice for her apathy-afflicted daughter. Touching story, isn't it? Besides, I happened to know that mother. What did you do this time? Helped her find the culprit. Super easy, barely any inconvenience. I'm sure you would have done the same. Sounds like the City Hall should give you a medal for outstanding citizenship. What better time to do that than tonight? You can do the honors. Nah, it wouldn't sit well with my conscience. After all, things have gotten to the point where they are, even with all the business that I threw a wrench into. Now, let's get back to that wager. 2 packs of wolves, increasingly antsy. The end is approaching, Texas.
"10 minutes until parade arrives at Court Square." "I'm glad you're here, Ingrid. The White Wolf of Saluzzo has disrupted our plans. I'm going to the port to deal with matters, lest she ruin everything that Venezia has built in Nuova Volsinii.
I returned my emblem a long time ago. Whatever happens to the famiglia is none of my business. Drop the act, Antonio. You know why I'm here."
How did you know it was me?"
When you told me you knew the truth. But it was your reaction just now that removed the last vestige of doubt. Why did you think the Sicilian betrayed you the moment you saw me?
Ha! You tricked me!
Did I? I had my suspicions, Antonio. If the Tancredis wanted to assassinate the Venezia Don, doing it through a child was a highly unreliable method, to say the least. No matter how intricate their plan was, they could not possibly have prepared a doll that Lisa had only fallen in love with half a month ago because of a movie. There never was an assassination attempt. You hurt Lisa to agitate me in order to run me out of the famiglia.
If that was so...
Oh, you spared no expenses to make sure that Lisa wanted for nothing when I brought her back. She called you the really nice Pero uncle. And the way you besieged me to come back after I arrived in Nuova Volsinii. You wore your mask perfectly, Antonio. You put on such a natural act that it would put the real thing to shame.
No, it was all real. Lisa, lovely clever child. I was happy from the bottom of my heart when she called me uncle. But you were in my way, Ingrid. I could never have risen in the famiglia with you around, much less rise to my present position. The struggle between Venezia and Tancredi had reached the point where nothing was off limits. It was a chance I could not afford to miss. Lisa was your only weakness. As for why I tried to bring you back after chasing you out from the famiglia, the answer is even simpler. Times have changed, Ingrid. Be it with the famiglia or in Nuova Volsinii, Venezia Jr. needs a strong right hand. I even made preparations to sponsor Rhode Island under the name of Venezia Trucking, in order to allow them to devote their full attention to Lisa's treatment. The Don took us in and we lived together as Venezia for more than a decade, but somehow you have it in you to hurt the people closest to you. Are you going to chastise me for lacking in decency, Ingrid? I'm curious, do you truly agree with what the old man says, or are you just playing dumb? We keep emphasizing decency, acting like we're principled, pretending we're filled with love, and claiming we're so different from the other familia. But we're no different, are we? Just a bunch of Stronzo with blood all over our hands. That tailor Umberto, he's done dirty work after dirty work for the old man just because he owed the old man one back in the day. If decency was really about the familia, why did he leave the familia to focus on his suits? That scar on your face, is it a mark of honor or shame? Behind the scar, how many lives were taken in the name of the familia? Who's really decent in this swamp they call Siracusa? No one amongst us, at least.
Good. This is the right distance for stabbing. You really are forthright, Antonio.
I just believe we shouldn't expect something unrealistic from one another. What the Siracusans should do is be prepared to lose everything, including those they love the most. That's what I used to admire you for. A bright flash of light. The alley they are in is separated from the court square by a high wall. Only a few dim street lamps illuminate the dark street. The sudden flash of light dazzles Ingrid momentarily.
This is your art. You hit it well.
Doesn't do much, except cause a strong flash of light. It even looks a little silly, doesn't it? This is the second time I've ever used it. Without this light, I would not have dodged that bullet while kneeling in the mud of the jungle. I would not have been able to hold that drunken noble who circled our names away from the list before cutting his head off.
Anger and distract me with that speech you just gave, then create an opening with the flash. You planned this the moment you saw me, didn't you?
But all I found was the Avamori you wore on your belt.
You never had a chance, Antonio, the moment I found out what kind of person you are. You know, it's funny. I was actually trying to think of an excuse to spare your life on my way here. Lisa's condition can never be cured, but she has found friends at Rhode Island, even became an operator for them, working to help other oropathy patients. I was worried about Lisa's education, but life has thrown her a bone by the strange deliverance of fate.
Slorana! Ingrid Venezia! You will insult me with this decency even now? You would never have missed my heart if you didn't mean to. I shouldn't still be talking.
You're mistaken. It's just plain Ingrid, a mother whom you've angered. If I was thinking about decency, it was only so that you wouldn't die with any. I left you alive so that you could bleed to death. You deserve the pain, Antonio.
Another firework explodes in the skies not far from here, casting its light on Ingrid's face. The parade is about to arrive at the square. Carnevale comes to a climax. It will be a long time before they find out about the peril lying on the other side of the wall. Ingrid snickers at the thought. She walks over the lying figure on the ground and leaves the alley. "4 minutes until parade arrives at Court Square.
I still can't get in touch with Antonio. What the hell is going on? And where's Capone at a time like this? I knew you couldn't trust a Sicilian.
What do we do now?
What do you think we do? This ain't a movie when you just call cut and go to lunch. Everything has been exposed. City Hall sees us for who we are now. Do you think we can go back to being honest citizens of Nuova Volsinii after this? Complete Antonio's mission, capture the courthouse, then get in touch with the port. Do the reinforcements have their weapons?
Yeah.
Good. On my order. Maybe some of us haven't touched a weapon in a year, but we ain't any more out of practice than these cargo haulings camo. Erin? You have the answer? It's not the one we want to hear, is it? Tell Irene that I'm very sorry about Summer. But I will not sign this verdict, and this decision is final. Nuova Volsinii will not tolerate the crimes of the Mafia, but that doesn't mean other people can use the opportunity to achieve their own goals. I've gotten letters from many friends over the past year. Some of them are judges or lawyers in other cities. Others have chosen to pursue a different career. They shared a lot of advice with me about the jurisprudential basis of the new Urban Management Act and specific room for improvement. I read many feelings between the lines: concern, confusion, hope, even envy. The new Urban Management Act is a unique thing in Siracusa. It is the basis of this city's existence. Many have their eyes upon it, even more have sacrificed for it. It's true that it can be powerless at times, but it's especially in times like this that I cannot allow it to become empty words, much less a tool to be exploited. Still the same old Lavinia. Hey, Erin. What is it? Listen to me carefully. These people have gotten their hands on weapons. They have become true wolves. The situation is out of control. I saw what the mafiosi are capable of when I first came to Syracuse as a kid. They slaughtered my uncle's entire family in just half an hour. In a few moments, I will release smoke to obstruct their view. Get the guys out of here when it happens. Hand signs, signals, whatever. I know you have a way. You'll need to be quick. I've never released smoke in such a large area before, so I don't know how well it will work, or how long I can keep it up. The trucks are right behind us. Get in, get away. I wasn't with Summer that night. It's partially my fault that he's dead. There's so much that a luckless loner like me can do. but I can't let my brothers and sisters die here.
That's a gun, not a spanner. Stop pointing it at me. No, I don't mean pointing at yourself. But I don't know how to use it.
Then point it in front of you, Pedro.
But that's...
Don't worry about it going off or accidentally touching the switch on some arts unit. I've talked to Judge Lavinia. These mafiosi have been declared outlaws under the new Urban Management Act. No one is going to hold you responsible if you accidentally shoot them. So take a deep breath and hold your weapon firm. We're protecting Justice Lavinia, protecting the courthouse, and protecting ourselves.
But, Erin...
Listen.
What?
The cheering. It's getting nearer and nearer. The parade will reach courthouse in just a few more minutes. How will the people interpret what they see? They're the ones who will pass judgment. The law needs only facts, doesn't it?
Erin's voice is trembling, but the crossbow in her hand is firm. Suddenly Ludmilla feels like she's looking at a stranger. The beast-masked figures on one side, the truck drivers on the other. Like they are standing on two sides of a river. There is no weapon on the ground, only shattered boxes. The weapons are in their hands. Everyone hears the sounds filling the air. The rumbling of floats, impromptu band performances, the spirited yelling of acrobats. The parade draws ever closer. Then sounds that are fainter, but even more audible. The sound of guns being loaded and locked, arts units being activated, crossbow safety pins being unlocked. There is nowhere to hide, there is nowhere to run. No one has moved yet. At the first shot, the damned river will burst, and a tide of madness will wash over everything. No one speaks. Nerves are wound to the very tightest. Everyone is listening to the sounds and their own racing heartbeats. A new day will dawn upon Nuova Volsinii soon. But the night is long.
Shokun, 君らの顔なんて覚えてられないけど、まあ行こうか。ここではな、怪我はさせません。武器なら目の前にあるでしょ。何を待ってるの。みんなが僕らを見てるよ。まずはこのコートを撃ち落とせるかやってみて。この力、どうか受け止めてください。この地、急ぐことはないよ。ヨミーの道は混んでいるか。敵前での隙を見せられる。絶対的な正義が存在しなくとも、私は自分の正義を掲げる。急ぐことはないよ。ヨミーの道は混んでいるからね。指令を聞け。そうは早く離れてください。お願いします。怪我はさせません。まずはこのコートを撃ち落とせるかやってみ。指令を聞け、モンスター。この力、どうか受け止めてください。急ぐことはないよ。ヨミーの道はこの距離を合わせ、絶対オリジニウムの活性化を抑える。私がお守りします。 私に出会った花そうはもうじき終焉だけど君たちはまだ何か待ってるのかな。オリジナルの活性化を抑える。そうでちょっとからかってあげようっと。遺言の伝達ロックンロール放火を討ち取って
想定外の状況は自己判断で対処し
早く離れてください。お願いします。トベこのガベルは重いわ。覚悟しておきなさい。どうしようかな。君の正体すぐに分かっちゃったんだけど絶対的な正義が花に酔えり羽織り着て刀刺す女。トベついてきて。始まるよ。遺言の伝達断る。君にできるかな。どうしようかな。君の正体すぐに分かっちゃったんだけど。
Mission accomplished.
Katsu! I said on my order, you idiot! It wasn't me. I just pulled the safety on my gun. And it's not them either. See that shocked look on their faces? They're checking themselves for holes. Did someone's weapon go off? Nobody's hurt, but where did that gunshot come from? I thought I knew what to do just now, but what do we do now? I can see the head of the first float already. Hey, you over there! Three minutes ago. 200 meters, just 200 meters. Haven't lost your touch, Ingrid. Not one bit. Merda, it hurts. I can feel my blood flow out of me. But that means I still have time. Get out of this alley, get back to the square, and I can still bring things under control. We have the courthouse and the port. Maybe I'll die, but before I die, I'll sit in the judge's chair and deliver the final judgment of this ridiculous testing ground. Antonio leans against the wall and does his best to stay upright, wobbling towards the exit. The alley is dark, and every step takes massive effort. For some reason, he thinks back to how the guerrillas crept through the jungle of Bolivar by night, escaping from the Sinya's government. Antonio thinks back to the circles that the noble drunkenly drew on the list, and his severed head when the guerrillas cut it off. He thinks back to Ingrid, Venezia Senior, Leon Tuzzo, Alberto, Signora Sicilia, all the people he hates. He will take everything from them. He will draw a big bloody cross on their names. It's not over yet. He stops. He feels the cold metal of gun muzzle pressed to his forehead. Antonio! Carle! I ordered you to get out! Who do you think you are? To kick me out? You're just Don's guard task beast, Antonio! No matter how hard you try to disguise your ears and tail, you want to kill me? You! Your hands are shaking! You don't know who my enemies are. You don't know what I'm building. You stupid, worthless Corleone! Carlin stares blankly at the lifeless body on the ground. He has never seen such fury as that which is on Antonio's face, even unto death. It almost seems like it was not the bullet that took Antonio's life, but the fact that it was he, Carle, who fired the bullet. Antonio's blood seeps through the cracks on the ground in the shape of a massive, bloody cross.
Hey, you over there! Erin? It's okay.
Before everybody's eyes, Irene leaves the driver's line and takes 2 steps forward, standing in the middle of the road. Facing off the tense crowd of mafiosi, she takes a deep breath and lowers her crossbow. What is the meaning of this?
Look, the first float has rounded the corner. The parade is here. Are we really going to fight to the death in front of hundreds of thousands of Nuova Volsinii citizens? Whatever your plan was, it's too late, isn't it?
You want us to lower the weapons? You think we're stupid?
We're doing the same thing. The White Wolf scattered the stuff on the plaza. We, as conscientious citizens of Nuova Volsinii, volunteered to clean up the square so that the parade can pass through. That's what happened, no more, nor less. All of you Signori and Signore are witnesses for me and all the drivers behind me. They in turn are your witnesses. It's Carnevale, after all. Let's give the parade a warm, proper welcome.
Get in, Carle. The parade is almost here. We can't park here for long. There's a Carnevale mask on the driver's seat. Put it on and hide that blood on your face.
Don Venezia?
Move. The car starts moving, and the parade crowd passes through behind. Music and cheering mingle under the bright lights. It has been a good 4 or 5 hours since the revelry started, but Nuova Volsinii's excitement shows no sign of abating. From the expansion plate through all of Nuova Volsinii's major districts, the procession is about to arrive at its destination. Nobody notices a lone car driving in the opposite direction.
I'm sorry, Don Venezia. I didn't get the job done. You gave me a chance after Antonio ran me out, ordered me to take him out quietly, but if Ingrid didn't already immortally wound him before I got there...
No, Antonio died by your hand. The Don's permission is required for the execution of a formal associate of the famiglia. At minimum, a proper explanation should be given to important members of the famiglia. Ingrid's methods were not decent.
Understood, sir. But now Antonio is dead. He was your son-in-law. The familia's...
Nuova Volsinii has its rules, so does Venezia. What Anton did was wrong. This is an act of kindness. He is with Bella now. Besides, his death will not be meaningless.
What next, sir?
We go home and clean the house. The first thing that City Hall and the courts will see when I get up in the morning tomorrow is Venezia's good faith. We will sit down together and we will talk like decent people. It will be a busy night.
Keep up, keep up! Court Square is just ahead. We got to get there ahead of the float to get a good place. Well, don't squeeze.
You're not joining them, Signorina? Your plain outfit stands out in a crowd of colorful costumes and masks. What an idea to turn things on its head. May I take a few photos? I can mail them to you if you give me an address. Hey, are you listening?
Agnes? Why don't you say anything, Agnes? You've never left me before. Where are you?
The Lupo girl's eyes harden. The photographer gazes across the street. The Red Hood stands out in the crowd, even in this reverie.
A trap? How did you... You got distracted. Is Agnes your grandma? You can find your grandma too? You're the last one. The last true wolf. Kill you and I will know the answer. Grandma?
I'm here, child.
I won, Grandma.
I saw it. I saw how the entire battle played out. How you zeroed in onto the fang of Agnes, lured her into a trap, and struck her down with a single blow.
You can see? Have your eyes healed, Grandma? Have your arms grown back? Is your heart whole again? Why can't I see you? Why can't I get close to you?
My sweet child, would you have hunted with such fervor if I didn't say that? Red killed the true wolf and earned an insipid victory for Grandma. Finally. Now I go off to find another sweet child.
You lied to me? Why? I don't understand.
Oh, bother. Alright, let me put it another way. Maybe then you'll know what to do. You're like the ones you've killed, my child. You're both huntress and true wolf. Not all the true wolves have been slain. Grandma hasn't been saved yet.
Look at the coordination of the two groups. Truly impressive, isn't it? In the space of a few minutes, they've hidden all the weapons in the trucks and stand side by side to welcome the parade procession. It's almost like they rehearsed it. Who would believe me if I said they were pointing weapons at each other just a few minutes ago? You win again, Texas. Once again, justice and conscience have taken your side.
Texas does not answer. The white wolf claps even harder, an ink black mask on her face.
Actually, I'm more curious why you suddenly put that mask on. It's Carnevale after all! Why the long face, Texas? You won! You should be more cheerful than that. Look, the parade enters the court square. That little intermezzo just now never turns into a full-scale riot. Peace and love for all. Or is it because you just can't help thinking that the only reason it turned out this way was because of a single gunshot out of nowhere, which gave one of the wolves the chance to cool its head? And Carnevale is nothing but a red carpet laid out on a swamp. What are you trying to say, Lappland? What happened tonight is not the same as the civil disorder that happened in the other cities of Syracuse. The only difference being the involvement of a bunch of ordinary people who were pushed to desperation by the mafia's turf wars. Well, you're not wrong. But they really did put on a remarkable show. Especially the driver lady that we saw in court, who seems to have understood a lot of things without having to be taught. Nuova Volsinii is not a vineyard where you just sow the seeds and wait for the fruits to grow. Don't forget that it sits right in the middle of the swamp by the name of Siracusa. The famiglia have never been the only ones who had to crawl through mud and water. Don't underestimate the power of this bog, Texas. It turns everyone into hungry, ravenous wolves. It has ingrained into the genes of the Siracusans the instinct to turn any new turf into the same swamp. This endless cycle is what Siracusa is. Don't try to escape it or change it. The easiest thing to do is to learn to enjoy the swim. This is what the old man, Signora Sicilia, and you, well, all of you have taught me. Leon, Tuzzo, and Lavinia have taken radical measures in order to validate an order that exists outside the Mafia. There is a long way to go. But this is why Nuova Volsinii exists. It offers a new possibility. But really, did you do all of this in order to give this speech? I didn't know you were so concerned about the future of Siracusa. Took the words right out of my mouth, didn't you? I was going to ask you that. Otherwise, why would you have come here, all the way from Lungmen, the moment you got my invitation? I know, you're gonna say...
The White Wolf pauses, clears her throat, and imitates Texas's way of speaking. Calm and even, yet emotion-filled.
All those lofty ideals are none of my business. I just work for a logistics company. I'm just here because I care about my friend, and because my conscience couldn't let me turn a blind eye to certain things, just like in Volsinii. No, Texas, I haven't forgotten the time that we first met. You had just come to Siracusa. You were standing at the edge of the mobile platform, holding your Nono Salvatore's hand, watching my family's workers trim the grapevines. Your Nono and my father were talking about how Colombia was turning into a dump, about Siracusa's good weather, the New Year's harvest, and how you'll be staying a while at our place. Your eyes were bright back then, and your expressions were much more interesting than they are now. That's because the grapes you picked were so sour they almost burned a hole in my tongue. Everyone on the square is wearing a mask tonight, but none could compare to the one you wear. Nobody sees things clearer than you. You were the first one to realize that this is a swamp that you need to get out of. But it was your disappointment that made you see Texas. You once had such high hopes for this swamp. Forget about my speech. You, Texas, are a true blue idealist. I don't deny it. Or rather, whether I am or am not makes no difference. It doesn't change what I have to do at the end of the day. A very Texas answer, almost boringly so.
Is that a landship? Whoa! City Hall brought a landship to the show and turned it into a stage? Wait. Look who's on deck. Is that the last Texas? I'm sure I've seen her in the courthouse of Volsinii. And the one opposite her. Lappland, the White Wolf, was disowned by the Dawn of Saluzzo 8 years ago? Why are they here at the Carnevale? Must be City Hall's special guests. Think about it, representatives of two major familia here at the climax of Carnevale. It sends an even more powerful message than Signor Bellone's promotional video. Damn right!
Lappland takes off her mask and gives it to Texas. What? You won the bet, didn't you? In the old days, the familia murdered each other on Carnevale. The last surviving wolf taking the masks of the vanquished. I suppose we need to give the old custom new meaning in this new city. A new life. That kind of stuff, I guess. As for the question just now, it doesn't matter what your answer is. Siracusa makes all of us wear masks after all. We're part of Carnevale's main event, Texas. Regardless of why you're here and now, you represent part of Siracusa, whether it's the part that's new or the part that's broken and needs to be thrown out. Mafiosi and truck driver, city officials and judges, and all of the Siracusans on the square will see in us the meaning that they want to see. You may of course choose to turn around and leave. Come on, Texas. Don't you just stand there. All of Nuova Volsinii is watching.
Silence. Texas gazes at her old friend, an old enemy, for a long time, and finally extends her hand. A dozen beast floats drive into Court Square, as though it had been previously rehearsed, and the reveling crowd continues to gush in like the tide. The sound of music and the cheers of the crowd keeps growing louder. The bright lights and fireworks in the sky provide the perfect backdrop for the duo on stage.
Do you hear that? They would not let the good night go gently. They're cheering for you and me, for this new city, for a new life.
You're still really good at making me feel sick.
I'll take that as a compliment.
But I don't mind being part of the event. I don't mind these people seeing some sort of meaning in me. Without hope, there would never be disappointment. Whether in Colombia or Siracusa, I do in fact hope to see a truly vibrant city emerge from the swamp. If the challenge and complexity of building it are beyond what I can imagine, then I will face the challenge with my friends, not run away from it.
Alright, I've made up my mind. I'll take care of one more trouble for you and Siracusa. I'm bringing those stupid wolves back to the wilderness so that Siracusa won't be affected by their dumb game. No need to thank me, but when the obstacles have all been pushed out of the way, how will you, change this swamp? There's something I suddenly wanted to ask you, Texas.
What?
Are you disappointed that I didn't come to Nuova Volsinii for you?
No.
Another very Texas answer. Recollect, Texas.
Texas takes the mask. The White Wolf lets go, without warning, without hesitation. She turns around and walks into the landship's hold.
Oh, and Texas? You were fun while it lasted.
November 9th, 11:57 p.m. Well...
Landship, the White Wolf of Salutes in Texas, and the Truckers Union. What else did we miss? Signor Bellone.
Hello, Erin. Haven't seen you in a while. Perhaps we should have a little chat once the festivities are over.
Go on, Mayor Leontuzzo. The duo's performance has come to an end. Time to deliver the closing speech for Carnevale.
Thanks for bringing me here, Dimitri, and sorry I couldn't give you a satisfactory answer, even at the very end.
Since when have you been the type to say useless crap like that?
I suppose you're right. Good evening, folks. I'm Leontuzzo. As you can see, I was a little dinged up, but I'm out of the woods now. I was actually there in the middle of the parade on the way to Court Square, experiencing the city that we live in together. I'm sure little needs to be said about the impressive performance of Signorina Lappland and Texas. But I wanted to see your faces, say a few things, and spend the night together with you guys. Many things have changed in Nuova Volsinii over the past year, not least the completion of the Nuova Volsinii port, the biggest cargo port in Siracusa. Every connection it makes is like a pulse of the city, demonstrating healthy, robust vitality, supporting thousands of enterprises and hundreds of thousands of livelihoods. We founded the country's first police academy, a new code of laws, and people are increasingly identifying with Nuova Volsinii. This makes me glad and anxious in equal measure. The city continues to face many problems that cannot be ignored. For example, the citizen credit system remains inconvenient, and there are many cases where it doesn't achieve its intentions. We also understand that the uniqueness of the new Urban Management Act makes it difficult for our citizens to receive the support they need for cases that span jurisdictions. A year is a very short period of time. City Hall and the courts still have much to do. What I want to ask is this: what is Nuova Volsinii to you? That's also the question that I want to ask other Siracusans in Volsinii, Sicilia, Montelup. What is Nuova Volsinii to them? And what is this young city to neighboring Leithanian, distant Ursus, and all the other countries in Terra, for which change is a constant? Are we a new possibility to them? Not just a different kind of violence, but something stronger, firmer, more close-knit, something worth talking to? Will they understand that our strength comes from our most earnest desires, that we, and all the other gathered here today, can safeguard our hard-earned new lives? That's what we have been trying to achieve over the past year. There is no famiglia in Nuova Volsinii. The reforms associated with this saying doesn't rely on Siracusans' methods, as Siracusans know it. A secret negotiation, an assassination in the dark, a purge of the city, a deadly struggle between familia. All that has happened here, and all that will happen, will be viewed through the lens of the law. We're giving a new order to our new life. The swamp that Siracusans used to take for granted will no longer face us. A friend once said to me that I'm walking down a thorny path. He's right, but all the challenges that we have faced is exactly why Nuova Volsinii must continue to move forward. For everyone who has been hurt on this path, for everyone who may be hurt in the future, I'm sorry. But at the same time, I continue to extend an invitation to all the friends who have something to ask of Nuova Volsinii. We shall trample the thorns together and make this brand new, one-of-a-kind city better, little by little, until it's ready to usher in a new era. As a matter of fact, a new era for Siracusa has already begun, a future filled with infinite possibilities. Demetri gazes forward silently at the silhouette of Leon Tuzzo outlined by the countless lights. What can I say, Leon? Saluta's wine isn't bad, but I prefer my own. Bologna will find its way into the city in my way, by your rules. I promise that to you. Demetri turns around. The mayor's speech continues, but he has received the answer he was looking for. Demetri has accepted the invitation, or perhaps the declaration of a very long war. Enjoy the rest of the night, and the dawn of a new day. And there we go, stage 10. And now before I say anything else, very quickly, our boss for this stage is obviously Lappland, or as she is called here, La Signora de Carnevale. And it says, La Signora de Carnevale finally takes the stage. The raucous revelry starts with her, and it is she who will lead it to its finale. An endless carnival, a decadent joke. Pretty much. But yeah, the cursed voice strikes again. Why? I swear, I have a way too accurate kill ratio with that voice at this point for characters. Oh, I hate it. I hate it here. I hate it every single. Oh God, no, I'm not even gonna. But yeah, a very emotional scene, and At the same time, I love that it is that moment that shakes up Red to a point where she's starting to question stuff. But more on that later. As, like I said, this is the finale. I will be off the cuff talking about the story when we are done. But yeah, quite a lot of interesting stuff here, especially the little bit of at the end with Texas and Lappland. I think Texas just got dumped. At least that's what the scene feels like. It's been fun while it lasted. Damn peak. Anyhow, let us move on to our final cutscene for this, and then we can talk about this whole event. The final one, titled Management Act Amendment. What will take the place of the blood and mud we have wiped away?
Grandma, I don't understand. You're not getting away this time, bloody pup.
As the Carnevale drew to a close and the dust settled in the square last night, Ludmilla spotted a familiar red silhouette. She followed the figure through winding alleys, sometimes hitting dead ends, other times standing still. It clearly had no direction. Ludmilla readied for an ambush, biding her time. Her strike landed true. She pinned the figure down, pressing her blade against its heart. Just a little more, and she would avenge her mentor and end this haunting ghost. But the red Lupo offered no resistance. She simply knelt, muttering as she stared into space. Ludmilla looked into her eyes and saw nothing but emptiness. The silence was brief, and the red Lupo spoke.
True wolf.
What?
Grandma was the true wolf. I was like them, chosen by the true wolf. We hunt for the true wolf, die for the true wolf, deliver the true wolf's victory. The story was a lie. Grandma was a lie. It's all a lie.
You're talking about your game? So teacher had to live in fear all her life with a limb leg just because she's part of this stupid game? You killed her for this victory?
I don't understand.
Ludmilla suddenly feels a force from her counterpart and hears the sound of blade ripping through fabric. She takes a step back. Is this what your Katze taught you? Violence, hatred, ideals, fate? Your Katze always has an explanation, doesn't she?
Katze.
The kneeling red-garbed Lupo searches through her clothes in the rain, eventually pulling out a tooth from where Ludmilla's knife had struck. It's a small, sharp tooth. The knife has left a clear mark on it. A baby tooth?
Grandma told me that this kind of tooth falls out because it can't tear the prey's flesh. But I have always kept it. Not sure why. Katze said I should keep it safe until I know the answer. I didn't listen to Katze.
I found the girl with the bow. She's alive. You missed her vital organs. Did you doubt yourself in the final moments, scum? Do you want to see this Katze of yours? Project Red waggles her ears silently. Well, I'm going to find her and ask her what else this is about. Don't you dare die before then. And don't you dare get my knife dirty. Is this how Nuova Volsinii's law enforcement does things? As we have already explained to you multiple times, Signor Saluzzo, your request for legal counsel is perfectly lawful and reasonable. We duly notify Saluzzo Vino, but nobody has come. It's not because of any interference on our part. I want to see your supervisor. No, I want Justice Lavinia, or Mayor Leon Tuzzo. Huh?
Buongiorno, Signore. Had a bad night?
Lappland? You have been banished from the Saluzos forever, traitor. You do not have the right to rescue me.
Oh, please, all things, still so full of yourself. Do I look like I'm here to rescue you? Catch!
Lappland throws an elaborate gift box through the self-door window. Alberto does not catch it. The gift box falls to the ground, its lid coming off and revealing a new suit, briskly cut, elaborately embellished, even more so than Lappland's outfit.
How do you like it? Meant to be a gift for the Carnevale. The work of a master Siracusan tailor. We already said goodbye last year, dear father, so I wasn't planning to see you again. I prefer to spend my time on more meaningful things. But then, it would be ungrateful of me to not present a parting gift, after all the lessons you taught me. But the little tailor was supposed to run errands got into a little problem, so I had to make this trip myself. Unfortunately, the Carnevale has already come to a close. But from the looks of things, you need something to wear for present, don't you?
Are you trying to provoke me? It won't work, Lappland. How can you be so clever yet so childish? Every Saluzzo knows that Alberto Saluzzo is never wrong.
Well, since I'm here, let me tell you one other thing. Let's just say, your stay will be much longer than you think.
What? The vote has been taken, Signorina Lappland. Despite your mistakes, you are the Don's only daughter and the heir to Famiglia Saluzzo. We need you to take charge of the Familia's affairs for now. The most urgent tasks are responding to City Hall's investigation of Saluzzo Vino after the Carnevale and getting the Don out.
What? I was just here for a drink. I thought there are no famiglia in Nuova Volsinii. Are you sure you want to play this inheritance game? Besides, didn't the old man pick this guy before he went in?
Do you mean
If you're looking for help, you should look for it from Saluzzo Vino's primary partner.
I'm honored to take on this responsibility, Signorina Lappland, and my friends from Saluzzo.
So, what's the plan?
We will immediately audit all our businesses in the city, in accordance with the new Urban Management Act. In addition to illegal registration, if Signor Saluzzo has indeed been manipulating Saluzzo Vino to engage in prohibited activities, it is our duty to gather materials and self-report to City Hall. If necessary, I will restructure the leadership of Saluzzo Vino. A necessary sacrifice to protect Saluzzo Vino.
Oh my! That sounds like so much hard work. Here's a toast to you.
You... How dare Bellone? Did he plan this from the beginning? You would allow the Bellones to take the Saluzzo's businesses in Nuova Volsinii?
Remember what you said? Banished from the Saluzzos forever, right? Or did you think I was going to come here to roost, like a migratory foul beast? There was always a question on my mind, Papa. Why were you so angry when I tried to kill the Boscia alla Lupo at Brunello, or when I let Texas go in Colombia? Were you angry that I acted against the Familia's interests, violated the rules of Siracusa? Or were you just angry that I was telling everyone that there are certain things which are outside Alberto Saluzzo's control? You should probably save your strength for the trial. Adopt the new management of Saluzzo Vino would make his legal counsel available for you. My dear father, you're not just a fool, you're a boring fool. It's really a Dio this time, but cheer up. You'll be better dressed than all your fellow inmates after all.
Hey, ain't you done yet? I don't know what the paper pushes at City Hall are thinking. Same points, same social service, but why gotta sweep 2 more streets than you, Capone? That's Signor Capone to you, Gambino. Don't forget who saved you when you passed out in the alley that night. Vaffanculo. Did you hear? Half of Venezia Trucking's management are in police custody right now. It wasn't just cigar and vinyl sent to Venezia Senior's room that night. There were also detailed business and personal records of Venezia Trucking for the past year. Anyone who was closely associated with Venezia Junior got rooted out, and the City Hall cutsy came into work the next day to a thick pile of self-reports lying on their table. Venezia Senior cut ties so swiftly and decisively that City Hall couldn't find fault. Venezia Trucking will get a full makeover, but won't be shut down. Venezia Junior's impact was reduced to a minimum. The famiglia sure are finding new and clever ways of dealing with traitors in Nuova Volsinii. The Don really struck like thunder, didn't he? I thought he came for the festival. Would have been rotting behind bars by now if we'd listened to you and stayed there. What's the difference? We lost all our citizen points, and we gotta start again from scratch. Once again, we got nothing left. Well, not exactly nothing.
Capone cast his gaze at the intersection, where a familiar yellow cab is parked.
Lappland said we can have the cab. Our reward, basically. How long do you think it'll take before we get a taxi company started in the city? I know what we'll call it. Taxi Siciliano. What do you think? I think we should get out of here, because the judge is coming. Wait, I don't think she's coming for us.
You're just going to leave without saying anything? Lavinia, I won't stay any longer. Don't want to keep you up at night. Where will you go? Rhode Island, maybe. Haven't seen Lisa in a while. Now that this old score has been settled, I have the time and the mood. I'm not here for small talk, Signora Venezia. We're not that close to begin with. Earlier in the morning, Venezia Senior came to see me and Leon Tuzzo. Whatever is going on with Venezia is none of my business. He would pay any price for Venezia Trucking's survival, even if it's just one factory, but he also had another request, to grant you safe passage out of Nuova Volsinii. Given the actions of Venezia Junior on the night of the Carnevale, your efforts helped City Hall contain the violence to some extent. Therefore, leniency should be considered. However, the charges of assault and battery still stand, not to mention that your actions were acts of revenge within the famiglia. We will issue an arrest warrant for you, Signora Venezia. Arrest warrant? I have multiple mafioso bounties on me, and even Signora Sicilia's prohibition. The arrest warrant will be a nice souvenir, I guess. Do not dismiss it so casually, Signora Venezia. This arrest warrant is empowered by the new Urban Management Act. Unlike Signora Sicilia's prohibition, there is no room for mediation just because some familia comes into power or loses it. The law is the law, Signora Venezia. We've talked about this before. Your every move will be watched by Nuova Volsinii, and perhaps all of Siracusa in the future. The arrest warrant will remain valid until you are brought into custody. I appreciate the reminder, Lavinia. I'm not dismissing your declaration. I could tell that you're a firm person when I saw you at the winery. In the Siracusa I knew, you didn't need a reason to kill, but that's not how things should be. Every action needs a reason, a proper reason. It's true for judges, for mothers, even for killers. I approve of your reason, which is why I approve of your action. Besides, I've told you, I don't have anything against your profession. I'm just thinking, if you issued a warrant for me, should I look forward to when we meet again? Well, I should go.
Hello, Irene.
Are you feeling better, Signor Bilone?
Yes, thanks for asking.
There is something I need to give you.
A resignation letter?
I would like to resign as president of the Truckers' Union. 1 year ago I promised you and Judge Lavinia that no mafioso would infiltrate the Truckers' Union, but I failed to keep the promise. I stopped them from putting their people in the union, but it didn't prevent them from achieving their goal at all. Summer and all the others whom they used, it's my fault, and I tried to coerce Judge Lavinia when things were exposed.
It's not your fault. Not all of it, at least. No one can stay calm when they see their best friend die and their family, along with themselves, backed into a corner. In the end, little harm was done.
But I just can't forgive myself.
I received a joint letter just before you arrived. It was signed by 200 full-time drivers of the Truckers' Union, plus several hundred more temporary and contract staff, asking for amnesty towards your actions during the Carnevale.
They shouldn't have.
Rethink your resignation, Irene. City Hall will hold an internal hearing next week to discuss integrating the Truckers' Union as a government department alongside city development and the police. Together we will build Nuova Volsinii's logistics and the city itself, Irene. I look forward to a long and productive partnership with you. I still trust the decision that Lavinia and I made that day. You may or may not be the best person to lead the Truckers' Union, but you're a decent person. In the 2 days since I woke up, I've learned about what I missed, and thought about many things. Finding the direction is easy. It's the journey that's hard. A long, long journey. How did it go?
The association will need to cooperate with the investigation and face penalties. However, City Hall won't pursue what happened during the Carnevale or those who helped with the smuggling.
Good.
I thought I asked you to wait for me at the camp.
I came to say goodbye. Didn't want to deal with the commotion if I said it at the camp.
You're leaving?
I found a red one. She's not in great shape.
I thought she was your sworn enemy.
Yes, she needs to go back to somebody, and that somebody is my other sworn enemy, whom I'll have to visit sooner or later. It's a long story. Anyway, if nothing much is going on with the Union for the time being, I want to visit this place called Rhode Island. There's something I want to ask before I leave. That night, when you ordered us to point our weapons at the Venezia mafiosi, what were you thinking? That all of the Union's problems will go away if we kill those bastards? And who smuggled what will remain a secret forever? Were you confident that it would be done with so many people behind you and so many weapons in our hands? Were you confident that you wouldn't be held responsible? Were you thinking about protecting the people behind you, or how, like the bastards on the other side, you held the fates of so many in your hands? Was the gunshot that made you stop, or was it your judgment from deeper down? No need to tell me, Irene. You know the answer. I told you the story of Tallulah, a respected leader who became an evil dragon. I failed to see it happen, and I didn't kill her. I won't make the same mistake again. I'm watching you, Irene. I'm the sword that hangs above your head. If that's what you became, I will come for you, no matter where I am, and I will kill you. I hope the day never comes. I hope we can truly, sincerely give each other our blessings, friend. Irene is alone. The reproba with the furrowed brows has vanished without a trace. The night wind of late autumn is chilly, but Irene just stands there, lost in thought.
It's me, Sandra. About the joint letter. Thank you.
I thought you promised Texas to take us away from Siracusa.
I lied. Besides, did she really win the bet? Is the Carnevale over, Zaro? Or has it just begun?
The old wolf of Venezia has hidden his fangs and claws, blending back into the pack. The pup named Irene has learned the tricks of hunting on her own.
That's why I said you guys are stupid. You set all sorts of dumb rules, but you can't resist breaking them. The game becomes increasingly boring with each cycle. The all-powerful Signore de Lupi are reduced to petty worries, like humans. From one wolf to another, tell me, Zaro, what sets the revelry beneath us into motion?
Power, obviously.
Yes, a port, a community, a city. Wherever there are people, there is power. Whether one pursues it, detests it, seeks to control it, or grasps it like a drowning man clutching at straws, they all end up holding power tight and wielding it with fervor. Power is the true wolf pack. It's the game all Siracusans, no, all of humanity was born playing. There is no judge, no rules. Its variety is infinite and does not end except by death.
Like the wind on the wilderness, there is no direction, and no one knows where it comes from, but it never stops. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I'll concede that you have discovered this pleasure earlier than us. Do you intend to put an end to the fangs and have Lappland lead us into this new game? That depends on what Vargo, and yes, and the ones over there who haven't spoken think.
No human has ever been alpha of the pack in the memory of the Signore de Lupi, nay, of the beast aristocrats. Do you have a hierarchy over here? That's a human concept to shackle their own brethren. You call yourself the Signore de Lupi? Act like one!
If she truly does bring us pleasure... There's one more thing you forgot. Look at the crystals on her leg. She is pretty far gone, and neuropathy is an uncurable disease for humans. Will we, deathless Signore de Lupi, recognize a dying human as alpha?
True, I probably don't have much time left. Doesn't that add to the thrill of the game?
I have a feeling that this is going to be the best time of my life.
Oh, an emperor came to talk to me.
It's not just the pack that has sensed this unease. It is a crisis that has put all the aristocrats of beasts on guard.
Emperor and our cousins in other races wish to talk to us. If Lappland is our alpha, then... There is no rest for the wicked, is there? Tell them. Their wilderness keeps its promises. Wait for me. Please take a look, Signorina Texas. I'll submit it if there is no issue. There's so much paperwork to become an independent consultant for you guys. Mi scusi. The Carnevale drew a large number of tourists and delivered on the promotional expectations. Nuova Volsinii port has received a large number of orders in recent days. Moving forward, our logistics systems will reach beyond Nuova Volsinii, connecting with other cities in Siracusano and even abroad. There is no room for negligence. Penguin Logistics has the qualities we're looking for, but Lungmen is a long way from here. The process of bringing you on as a special consultant will be a little more complicated. Just sign here. Welcome to Nuova Volsinii, Signorina Texas. Things are about to get busy. Excuse me, could you submit my application with Chelinia's? We meet again, Chelinia. Giovanna? I thought you wouldn't be coming back for a while after you left for Colombia. Has your journey for inspiration come to a close? Sora started her second Siracusan tour 2 months ago, didn't she? Did you notice the name Katerina Culture Ltd on the sponsor list? Since when have you become so close with Sora? She's a friend too, one whom you introduced me to. My injuries have healed and I found new inspiration. It was time to come back. The happy times of the past may be gone, but that doesn't mean we can't create even happier stories ourselves. I needed time to prepare before. Now I'm ready. And none too soon, I see. It seems like you have made a decision too. Yes, things will be different between us now. I'm looking forward to it, Chelinia.
Father Agonir? Oh, it's you. I wouldn't have realized that you were in Nuova Volsinii if I didn't see your photo in the submissions for memories of the Carnevale. Well, I didn't tell you. Or anyone else for that matter. Are you planning to leave now? I'll go back to Montelup with you. There are certain things that I should explain to Signora Sicilia personally. Why? The city is just entering its 2nd year. Its mayor has many things to attend to. Take it easy, young man. I'm loath to admit that we're like concerned parents who quietly follow their children the first time they go out on their own. But yes, I came to the city at Sicilia's behest, to see it, deal with some people or declare a decree on her behalf, if it comes to that. But I did nothing. The Carnevale had its little hiccups, but it's come to a satisfactory conclusion, hasn't it? In certain ways, it's true that you haven't completely fulfilled your promise to Sicilia to transform Nuova Volsinii into a new city that's totally different. I can't deny it. Well, Sicilia had so much more on her plate when she first came back to Siracusa. It wasn't easy bringing guns and order to this country. Of course, you're facing more resistance than she did. That's why she wouldn't pour cold water on the fire of youth. She hasn't gotten that old. I'm not coming back with you to Montelup to prostrate myself before Signora Sicilia and beg for her mercy. I have some plans about the future of Nuova Volsinii, about promoting the new Urban Management Act. Ah, very good then. I want to ask though, if you came to deal with problems, why didn't you do anything? I saw an old friend. Flashback. How long has it been, Umberto? Father Agonir? I remember that you moved to Nuova Volsinii. Just thought I would drop by. Are you waiting for someone? Mafia killers? Or the Fangs? I don't know. but death will find me, one way or another. I'm old enough. Sorry, it's been a long time since I walked into a church or offered a prayer for the dying. Some priest you are. I still remember the day we met. It never occurred to me in 1,000 years that I would be hired to kill a sancta. A priest no less. A moment of surprise was enough for you to pull a gun from your robes. I would never have gone back to being a tailor, if not for you. All in the past. Why have you chosen to come to Nuova Volsinii tonight? Is the Carnevale... Any final wishes, Umberto? I'll see what I can do. No, father. None at all. I'll remember you have a grandson, Lucino, is it? There's only so much I can do for him. To me, he's my only family. To him, there will be a day when I'm not his only family anymore. The future awaits the young. Alright then, and that is the rest of the I Portatori dei Velluti story. We are done here. And yeah, what a nice little touch here at the end with seeing Umberto one more time and delivering those words at the end to put a neat little bow on the story and yeah, kind of wrap around the whole messaging of what's important here and what should be what was kind of like the main focus of the whole thing, being the new generation trying to do better and improve things for Syracuse as a whole. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna have ourselves a little conversation here at the end, as always, about the story, its characters, and so on and so forth, with a couple of things as well that I've noticed throughout the story that were kind of like it's more technical stuff than anything else, but we'll get to that in a moment. So for those of you who are jumping off here, thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. If you're new to the channel, take a look at the rest. There is pretty much everything else from Arknights available if you just want to listen to the stories. Just type in the name of the story in the channel and you're gonna find a playlist. So yeah, enjoy and thank you very much. But yeah, what a story. What a story, right? And let's put this thing here on auto in the background so something is moving, something is doing stuff. Also, very quick little side note, in the group that you just saw on the screen, only the 4 characters on the very left are characters that I still need to level trust on, if you can believe it. But yeah, anyway, this was a story, alright. First off, I do want to point out a couple of little technical things that were kind of weird about this whole thing. Like, I appreciate all the extra effects and stuff that they start putting in the story, but I think they forgot a couple of effects. A couple of cutscenes just abruptly start. There is no transition or anything. It's just like you click on it, music cuts off very abruptly, and then immediately there's just a picture and nothing for like 2 seconds. Like they forgot in a couple of cutscenes to put in transitions when they start. So I had to do it manually and in editing. But yeah, anyway, kind of funny. And it's not the only thing. I've noticed a shit ton of typos. Like in the whole, probably one of the funniest ones in the whole thing is on the deck of the land ship at the end with Texas and Lappland as they're discussing something, and I think the exact wording was something Lappland saying something and then ending on but, and then Texas replying back with Batu? Batu what? There was a lot of typos and a lot of like words that were missing and just letters missing in general. Like the word is appropriately there, but it kind of has like an extra letter there that shouldn't be there, or it's missing a letter to make it a more appropriate thing. There was a lot. I don't know what happened. If they have, maybe they have a new translating and new translating staff and localization staff that is not trained fully yet, so they oversaw it, or maybe they didn't just do enough quality control. I don't know what happened. There was a lot of typos, and I heard people already pointing it out as well in to the devs as well in the surveys and stuff like that. That there was quite a lot. Usually there's always a couple, but this story had a lot. I had to adjust so much text, like or just mentally remember. Okay, remember there is a word in the next segment that you're recording that you need to remember to add a letter, or just replace the two words where they are in the sentence to make the sentence work. Because there was a lot of that, let me tell you, and I definitely forgot to do a couple of them, or just on autopilot read what was on the screen. But yeah, I don't know what the case was here, why so many technical difficulties, but maybe something new was happening. Maybe they have, like I said, maybe they just have new staff and they haven't fully adjusted yet to the whole thing, and who knows. There could be a myriad things when it comes to this stuff. But yeah, anyhow, that's the technical stuff out of the way. The technical little whoopsie doopsies that they did in the story, or rather in the event as a whole. At least that I've noticed. Maybe you guys noticed some other stuff that I didn't pay attention to. I was paying mostly attention to like the scene stuff and and the story stuff and the writing, of course, considering how many times I go over certain text lines and stuff like that on re-recordings and stuff like that. But yeah, anyhow, when it comes to the story though, pretty darn good. I really have nothing really bad to say about the story. The only thing I can probably nitpick about the story itself is that at the end we didn't get anything about Lucino after he leaves the square and everything. Like, we don't get a follow-up of him getting to Umberto and everything. Maybe that's gonna be a thing that they're gonna be covering, because there was no room here to do so. Maybe they're gonna cover that in Lucino's future whenever he gets an operator record, and we're gonna see it there, probably. I mean, Irene, aka our Irene, aka Vagayaiba, sorry. But yeah, Irene from Iberia over there, not this one. This is gonna be confusing, by the way. If this blonde one becomes a playable character in the future, this is gonna be confusing. But yeah, anyhow, Irene over from Iberia, she also had to deal with the loss of someone who was important to her, and that was also kind of covered mostly in her operator record, which was very heartfelt, by the way. Yeah, maybe Lucino is gonna get the same treatment here, so I'm not gonna nitpick too hard on it. But I wish he would have still been in like the story, and we would have seen the scene play out at the very end. But yeah, maybe in like the feeling department and everything, it maybe didn't fit very well in the end of the whole thing. But yeah, overall the story was very good, like I said. I personally love the whole scenes of going back in the first half of the story, going back to the starting scene where we see the crash and we see new elements getting added to the scene. Like I said before, it is very Yakuza coded. Pardon. Specifically, Yakuza 4 was the game that had like a cutscene where you saw only one bit off at the beginning, and then as the story progressed, you get a new element, and a new element, and a new element, and a new element, and every time you get a new element to the whole cutscene play out, as much as you might groan about the whole thing that it's, oh god, it's this thing again, then you see the element that got added, and you're like, oh shit! Pretty much had the same feeling here, like, for a good part, every time the scene came along again, I just kept thinking to myself, oh god, I need to voice this again. I did so many runs through this segment already. And yeah, if someone is gonna say like, oh, why don't you just use like the voice clip from the original recording? Well, the problem is when I render out the video, I don't keep the raw files anymore. When I render out the video, the the microphone vocal line and the game vocal line are spliced into a single one, so there's only one sound wave, and I cannot separate the game audio anymore from just the mic. I would have loved to have foresight and reuse that the original recording just to save myself time, but anyway, semantics. But yeah, I love the whole concept of going back to the whole scene, seeing new elements being added, seeing who did what, who was where, who were the people that weren't shown at the beginning, like the person coming to help Leon Tuzzo. You don't get who it was at the beginning, but then you learn it's Lucino. Then you also learn that Lappland was there, and Lappland was the one who called the cops and the emergency services essentially to come and help, and that is a very nice gesture. She, like I said, I think I said it already in the episode where that got revealed, that she pretty much saved Leon's life with that. Probably if not for her calling emergency services, I don't think he would have lived. Maybe he might have just died right there on the street. Who knows? But yeah, that whole cutscene was pretty great. The other elements of the story, well, let's do the usual and discuss them through the characters, right? That's I think that's gonna be easiest to catch up on everything. First off, let's go with some minor stuff. Naomi, Naomi, was it Noemi or Noemi? Pardon. Wasn't really too much in the story. Looks like a very unique character, of course, but I don't know if she's gonna be coming back in future installments or anything, or she's gonna be like a background character. She does seem to love her pizzeria and everything from her family. Maybe we're gonna see a chain of pizzerias across Terra. And she's just gonna appear in stories from now on, but she also seems to want to be a police officer, so who knows? We'll see what happens there. But yeah, I don't know. New character got introduced, didn't really do much in the story outside of being introduced and being a adorable little pizza-loving goober. And also her hanging out with the beast aristocrats was quite something. I wonder if she's gonna hang out with them more in the future, considering that they had a vibe going on there. Then oh god, Umberto, holy shit. I still cannot believe that my first intuition when I saw the character was, let's do the old dry voice for the character, cause it's an old man, you know, so you kinda have to give him an older sounding voice, and he looks like he's went through some stuff, even though he looks kinda, you know, still maybe kind of spry, but he's pretty dried out, and even his color scheme is kind of like muted. So it's kind of like instinctively, immediately the moment he appears, I went to that voice, and like what was it, like 2 sentences in, I was like, oh god, I cursed him immediately. It's done. It's Jower. This guy's gonna die. And I hated that I was right. I so hated that voice is so iconic. The voice is so iconic at this point for any character in almost all of the stories. If I give it to a character, look, it's not gonna happen always, right? But for people who might have just jumped on the ship recently with the channel and everything, if you're gonna watch the old stories, I would say there's like a 50-50 chance you're gonna hear me voice a character with that voice. And if you do so, well, look, there's a chance. Is all I'm gonna say. Good god, who's gonna be the next? I should... A bit too late now to go through all the videos, and maybe not too late, but quite a lot of work. But I should maybe somehow go through the videos and just compile a list of characters that I killed with that voice. Just to have a list and see the wall of names. Oh god. But yeah, Umberto was a very good character. I love his whole reveal of his past being a top assassin. Not in a case of that he is like super proficient at combat or anything else, but he's just good. He's just good at what he does. He can get close to you without you even realizing that he's after your life. and then just does it. And I do also love his whole interaction with Lucino and Vargo especially. We'll get to Vargo in a second. But yeah, that was also very nice to see. And yeah, very sad. I do... As sad as it makes me that he had to pass away, he was sick after all, but I do love that his death is actually meaningful in probably a lot more senses or places that we know, but the most impactful being for Project Red. That is his death and his demeanor before dying was the thing that was the final nail in the coffin, like that made her start to doubt that maybe what she has been told by Grandma has been a lie, and maybe she should question what she's actually doing. It also helps that she obviously interacted with people on Rhode Island, and Kaltsit was teaching her as well, and everybody who interacted there with her. So she probably kind of has already a concept of that life is important and should be cherished and protected, and not just mercilessly taken away because someone said so. Like there should be a conscience behind every action, right? Yeah, I do like it. I wonder what this is gonna actually now lead up to. If this could be a very good opportunity for a Project Red altar, quite honestly. Maybe I mean, if she does get an altar in the future, that would also mean a name change. I think they're gonna keep the Red. I do wonder what they're gonna call her though, if they do so, and if she's gonna remain a specialist as well. But we'll see when that comes along. Definitely left it up in the air that she could do something else in the future, and we'll see what that means. Also, I know that while we're on Project Red, the whole thing, I do know that Ludmilla hates Kaltsit for obvious reasons, but I think she also has a very big misconception about Kaltsit. That is one meeting that I would love to see how it plays out, or rather a series of meetings that I would love to see how it plays out, because of how she would be taking in both Kaltsit and Rhode Island and all of the stuff that is happening on Rhode Island, and maybe get a different perspective on stuff. Maybe her file is actually talking about that, but I kind of do want to also wait until I actually open the whole thing before I read it. But yeah, very interesting. Anyway, moving on through the other characters. Irene, first impression, cute, and then further development and stuff like that. How to put this properly? I like her, and I do like the how because of her own life experiences before she met Summer, and then how she was living here in Nuova Volsinii, how life pretty much pressed her in a direction of almost herself creating a famiglia with all of the trucker union guys. That I mean, I think I said it already during this whole series as well, that the trucker union definitely feels like they're pretty much teetering on the edge of becoming a familia themselves. I mean, if she would have called a shot there and told them to kill the mafiosi, she would have pretty much created a mafia organization herself, which would have been quite the insanity. So I'm kind of happy that she reconsidered. And yeah, as well, Ludmilla asking her, like, did she reconsider because her own consciousness, or because she got rattled awake from the gunshot that happened? That is also a good question. Could be both. Could be one or the other. Could be many things combined. But yeah, who knows? But yeah, anyway, we'll see what happens with her. She definitely has a very highly detailed design, considering she's also going to be integrated into the city with the trucker union. This is definitely a character that is going to somehow become playable. There are characters where you see them, and you can immediately tell, okay, this one probably has some future meaning. either playable or just like for a bigger picture. Like all of the famiglia dons, for example, like Antonio, I mean, yeah, Antonio as well, but like Venezia Senior and Alberto are pretty highly detailed, but they're never gonna become playable. Those two will never become playable, and I would not want Alberto. Venezia Senior, though. Ooh. But yeah, anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Moving on to Capone and Gambino. Those two idiots, goobers. I love them. Those two are such a comedy duo, but again, they are definitely criminals and they are definitely sinister, and I wonder what's gonna be happening with them in the future. I don't think anything bad will happen to them, like them dying or anything. They are pretty much a pair, and as sinister as they are as mafiosi, at the same time, they are comic relief characters. No matter how you twist and turn them, they are comic relief characters, and I don't think they will die in anything in the future, but they will definitely be back. They will definitely be back for more, and I am looking forward to it, because right now we have been left with them maybe potentially forming a taxi group in taxi business in Nuova Volsinii, which is hilarious. And you know what? In the future, when they come back, I want a phone call between the two of them, like Gambino calling Capone, and just be like, "Hey Capone, wanna go bowling?" I want that reference so bad. Oh god. Anyway, they're cool characters, and I do love them. They have such a cool little dynamic between the two of them. Anyway, moving on, Demetri appeared for a little while, and I don't really have much more to say about Demetri outside of that I like the character, pretty much, and I like how he's evolving and stepping up as pretty much he is the de facto Don of the Bellone famiglia right now. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he's gonna be doing in the future, considering how we've left him off now, with being spurned on by Leon Tuzzo's speech there at the end, and we'll see how it develops. He's probably gonna find a way to to get into Nuova Volsinii and be close to his fratello, because the yaoi is very strong there. You cannot deny it. as much as they are like brothers, God, the vibes from Demetri. Ooh, he wants that booty. He wants that booty, but that booty is who knows? That booty is probably being tapped by Lavinia. Oh God, Demetri, you're a bit slow. Anyhow, our next one, Antonio. Good God, what an asshole. Good God, what an asshole. That's literally the only thing I can say about Antonio. What an absolute asshole. Pretty much, he's first... I mean, it's pretty much introduced immediately the moment you meet him. The first time he talks to... he talks and does stuff around. He immediately calls the shots on someone being killed. That's immediately like a sign of, yeah, this is an asshole. It's like the good old movie trope of if you see anyone in a movie bite into an apple, in a very specific, provocative way, that person is an asshole. That's kind of like a movie trope, by the way. Yeah, this guy was an absolute asshole from the beginning, and good ending for him, I would say. Very good ending. Like the whole poetry behind it being Ingrid not immediately killing him, but letting him profusely bleed out, slowly, agonizingly, because at the end of the day, it's pretty much, as sad as it sounds, it is pretty much the same thing that is slowly happening to, well, not the bleed out, but the slow death is pretty much what is happening to Lisa. So, you know, through a ripophy. So having him go through like a very slow and agonizing death, yeah, it's poetic, it fits, and it was very nice. I do still I would have still loved to see him rather bleed out or just left the scene there, but I also find it kind of very funny that the one guy that he kicked out came back under the orders of Venezia Senior to murder him and just put a bullet in his head at the very last moment. Very good. I also do understand where Antonio was coming from with his whole background being a former guerrilla fighter, and he pretty much came from a very sinister place, and the swamp that he came out of permanently stuck to him, and then he came into another swamp, and the original swamp was still there, still sticking to his body. So you know, his character is kind of self-explanatory. I don't really have much to add there. He has been what's the best word to say? He has been marked by life in a very bad way, and he just didn't know how else to approach it when it comes to it. So that's that. He got his comeuppance, and I am glad he did so. Also, I'm not gonna lie, for a brief moment maybe I did kind of suspect that when they were discussing who could be the assassin, that it might turn around and be Umberto, and I'm kind of happy that it didn't. Like, I had a brief glimpse of that it might be Umberto, but Umberto, the more they described Umberto, the more I was like, yeah, this can't be it. It's probably Antonio. It's probably the asshole Antonio who for some reason decided to injure Lisa, and what a selfish reason as well it was to just get Ingrid out of the house and leave the family so that he can rise in the ranks. What an asshole. But yeah, anyway, let's put that asshole behind us, like it should be, and get to the next guy. Summer. Here is the thing. When Umberto died, that death definitely left an impression on me. Like, that was definitely like that was a heavy fucking moment. Umberto's death was a heavy moment, despite it being like a very, very peaceful death. But Summer dying didn't really hit me as hard, and I don't really know why. Like, I don't really have the words why. Like, I feel sad for the guy and everything that he had to go down this route, but I don't know why. Maybe it was because in Umberto's case, we have his grandson, and we also hear the backstory. Like we hear in Summer's case, we hear the backstory and everything. I mean, there's Irene, but maybe because Irene isn't his biological daughter, I don't know. I feel like he maybe should have been developed a tiny bit more. Maybe it would have impacted me a bit more, maybe more screen presence. I don't know. There was just something that didn't really click too much with Summer for me. Maybe you guys are different there. I would kind of be interested how you guys felt about the guy, because for me he really didn't impact me too much. Like, it was sad the way he went and everything. Maybe also because we don't see it. I don't know. But the guy is definitely dead. I was kind of halfway expecting that they're gonna pull a 180 with the guy, and maybe, considering how much Lappland was meddling in the background, maybe she yoinked the guy out of the container without anybody noticing. I don't know. Like, maybe she had Zaro pick the guy up and carry him out of there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but definitely felt sad about the guy dying. That's all I can say. But again, didn't really hit me too hard. But yeah. Anyhow. Oh, maybe if they would have brought his actual daughter in, like if they've shown in, like in Siracusano with the name is escaping me right now. The little guy who pretty much as a message dies on pretty much a whole city radio broadcast, and his daughter is literally listening to the radio broadcast. The speech that he delivered was impactful, but then also realizing that his daughter is pretty much being witness to his demise was also, God, that was such a strong scene. So I don't know, maybe if his daughter would have been actually in the city and would have seen her, like we've seen the impact on her, because Irene didn't really get too shaken up by the whole thing. as well. Like, she did, don't get me wrong. She got shaken up by the whole loss of Summer. I mean, it pushed her to quite a sinister thoughts as well, but maybe it would have seemed like Irene break down and cry or something. I don't know. I'm trying to find the reason why in my head why it didn't impact me so much, but it just is what it is. All right, but speaking of familias and everything, Alberto Saluzzo. I don't have much to say about the guy outside of that he is probably, like, when it comes to the Dons so far that we met, I don't really think too much about him. As in, I don't really neither fear him too much or have any kind of too strongly respect for the guy because of how self-centered the guy is, and he just thinks he's the hottest shit in all of Siracusa. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty much on the same page as Lappland about him, about what she said, like being kind of boring. Not in a sense of bad writing about him, just as a personality, he's kind of boring. He's kind of boring because he's just a one-trick pony. He just wants power, and he wants to be always in the right, and he is not always in the right. And he is not all-knowable. So he fucking fails because he doesn't look ahead. But yeah, he can rot in prison for now. On the other end, Venezia Senior. Good lord. That guy fills me with dread. Holy shit. That guy has definitely an appearance, and that guy definitely has a presence. Holy shit. Definitely one mafiosi family don to look out for in the future when and how this story is gonna be continuing, because he is not playing around. We'll see what happens with him. I definitely like the guy, and I definitely want to see more of him when the story continues. All right, Beast Aristocrats. Very interesting. Number one, just to quickly address it, I do wonder what the Beast Aristocrats are sensing, because if all of them are reacting to something stirring in the background, that just means it's pretty significant and it's pretty large. Now, what it is, I could not even fathom to think about right now, because there is just so much on this goddamn planet that could be the case. But considering how global it seems, if all of them are reacting to it, it could be anything, quite honestly. Could be some threat from the outside, could be some of the threats that we already know. Who knows? Who knows what could be happening? But it's definitely an interesting thing to keep an eye out when it comes to the future stories. It's probably gonna be something that's gonna be addressed in some kind of way in the future. But on the other end, we met a couple of new wolves. We finally saw Grandma, which was one of the characters I was hoping to finally see in the future somehow. And we finally did, and she is an absolute asshole. She is an absolute asshole. Comparing her to the other ones, like, even Zaro is a way better Signore de Lupi in character than Grandma. Grandma is just super manipulative. She's just literally pretty much honing her children to be just mindless killers. And I think Project Red is pretty much just lucky that she kind of got in contact with Rhode Island, and that kind of pushed her in another direction a tiny bit, at least. Because comparing her to Zaro, who is very battle hungry, but at least he doesn't manipulate someone, you know, to be just a blunt instrument. He does like a personality in a person. At least that's what it looks like. You wouldn't be hanging around Lappland otherwise. Then we have Vargo as well, who is a bit more on the calm and collected side, but God, seeing him, despite him not ever fully like openly saying it, he definitely liked Umberto. Like, the guy definitely liked Umberto, and it just shows. I mean, he let Umberto pretty much walk all over him with the whole spiel of just let me raise my kids, and then we can deal with the whole thing. And Vargo just agreeing. It even shows at the end where he's he's saying he's sad about losing the game, but he's actually sad, obviously, about, you know, losing Umberto and everything. That was very wholesome from that one. And then we also have what's her name? Agnes. At least that's how I hope it's pronounced, the name that is. But yeah, then we have her as well. We don't actually. I'm actually surprised they didn't show her, but they did show her actually openly talking at the end of the story, which was, whoa, that came out of nowhere. I didn't ever expect her to talk in this whole story, but she did. And yeah, just judging her from the actions around Luna Cub, she definitely has like a motherly persona as well, very similar to Vargo, and Vargo caring about Umberto. Agnes definitely cares about Luna Cub a lot. I mean, she taught her how to live amongst people. She taught her how to properly speak. She taught her to dress properly, to keep herself clean, to when she's hungry go and eat, you know, stuff like that. Oh, pretty much such a motherly persona towards Luna Cub, and caring for her little fang, and it shows on Luna Cub as well. Despite Luna Cub being still a bit of a wild thing, all things considered, still way better than Project Red. Yeah, very nice to see all of them. And well, they have a new leader now. Who knows what the hell is gonna happen? Because Lappland is very unpredictable. We'll see, I guess. We will see. And I think that covers most of our side characters. I do like that they brought back what's his phrase, Agonir, as well, for just a brief moment, just to show that he and Signorina Sicilia are just watching over the city, and how the young are dealing with their new life and everything, if everything is going smooth. And hopefully they don't have to intervene into anything, because they do want to give them a chance to make things better and right. So that's very nice to see. And also Giovanna being back. I think I said it earlier, but Giovanna being back as well was very nice. And we'll see, when the story continues, she's probably going to be part of whatever comes next for Siracusa. And looking forward to that. Alright, but when it comes to our heavy hitters for the story, our both operators and both main characters for the story, no one can tell me otherwise, but come on. Leon, Tutso, and Lavinia have to be in some shape or form dating. You cannot tell me they are not. I mean, the whole scene begins with them. There is food in the fridge just heated up. Unless she meant in the office fridge. They didn't specify. They should have specified. But yeah, they definitely have something going on there. We'll see. I'm rooting for them. I'm definitely rooting for those two. We need more characters that are in relationships. God damn it. Stop being cowards, writers. Stop being cowards. Write your characters into relationships. Good God. But yeah, Leon don't really have much to add there, outside of still the same Leon as he was, proceeding with his plan for the city and everything. Lavinia pretty much same as she was, integrity all over the place, and pursuing her agenda with the law and everything. Don't really have much to say that I probably didn't say already back in Siracusano as well. Then Lucino, don't really have too much to add about the little guy, outside of I mean, he's a young boy and a teenager, and you can see his aspirations at the beginning of like trying to mimic mafiosi and everything, and trying to find a place in a famiglia, but then learning down the line that, oh, what I was pursuing is kind of bad and I maybe should not pursue this shit, and that devolving into probably never wanting to be part of a familia at this point. But again, like I said as well, I'm kind of surprised that it didn't show what happens next to the boy, or what could be his next thing outside of that he's gonna take over the family business, essentially. But we'll see, I guess. I'm just glad that he didn't do anything drastic. I mean, he did. Don't get me wrong. He did something very drastic at the end. He went for a bloody revenge drive at the end, and that was kind of like, okay, boy, you're young. You're being very impulsive right now. Hopefully nothing happens, and thank fuck nothing happened. I just hope he's gonna learn from this whole ordeal and not pursue the path of revenge in the future. But again, it's gonna be one of those things we'll have to wait and see what happens with him. Then Luna Cub didn't really much appear in the story, so don't really have much to add here outside of she was pretty much the same old Luna Cub that we know, the adorable little thingy. And I'm just happy that she lived. I wasn't really like convinced that Red killed her there. I mean, she's a playable character. It's one of those things of for this game, if it's an operator and they get like mortally wounded, they're definitely gonna survive, kind of deal. I swear, operators in this game have a maybe a tiny bit too strong of a lifeline because they're playable characters. Hopefully the writers in the future are gonna maybe a bit, you know, lower that bar, maybe let an operator actually get injured gravely or something, like lose a limb or some shit, so they can, you know, writers, Hypergriff. Here's an idea: if you actually get your operators and in their current form, I don't know, lose an arm or a leg, there's your chance to make a cool altar where they have like a prosthetic limb. Give me one of the Higashi characters so we can have a Sekiro character. Anyway, we'll see what happens in the future. Project Red, I'm just happy that she learned finally that Grandma is an asshole and she was lied to, even though that broke her mind completely. But we'll see what happens with her in the future. I already said a couple of words, so can't really say much more. Ludmilla, good God, what an adorable goober. And I'm happy for her that she just found a family in the trucker union. A bit sad that she's leaving them behind, of course, but she's going to Rhode Island with Project Red to see about her other mortal enemy, calls it. I guess we'll see in the future how that plays out and what's gonna happen with that. Not really much else to add there outside of that girl went through some shit in life. Like, holy shit, she went through the muck and the grime. And yeah, hopefully the unlucky girl will be a bit luckier from now on. I do like that even despite the fact that she only managed to land a blow on Project Red was when Red was when Red was at her weakest. I'm still happy that it actually happened. So you know, that's kind of like a mental little thing of even if it happened in that kind of scenario, that kind of evens the mental space out a tiny bit. you got to finally get some revenge out there, so it helps. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with her. And I did hear also, this is from a technical standpoint, I did hear that a module that she is gonna get in the future is gonna kind of fix her kit quite a lot. So hey, for all of those who are Crown Slayer, aka Ludmilla enjoyers, and are kind of having a hard time because of her current kit. I only know from the technical standpoint, I don't know what it does, but I only heard that her future module is actually doing quite a lot for her, so look forward to it in like 6 months from now. But yeah, anyhow, Texas. Don't really have much to add there. Texas is still Texas. She's pretty much the same character that she was, and probably will forever be. However, putting her and Lappland together and just having a conversation is quite the blast. The difference between the two of them as they're conversing is so good. The complete calm and the complete crazy. It's a tale as old as time, but it works so well. It works absolutely well. And yeah, Lappland, of course. Not to forget, of course, Lappland. Good God. What a character. Pretty much the show stealer. I'm very happy how present she was in the story, how much she was doing in the story, because quite a lot of times the character that is kind of like the poster child for a story doesn't really do much in it. You only either hear from other characters, like stories being told about them, and you see very little. And usually that's kind of also enough, but you know, you kind of also wanna see the character that is the poster child for the story do stuff. So seeing Lappland do stuff in the story, also one-upping her whole shtick with driving the car into the courthouse a year ago, now coming back with a land ship. What's next? Is she gonna be driving a whole city around in the next story? I'm gonna laugh if that happens. I'm gonna lose my shit if that's gonna be the case. That'll be absolutely amazing. But yeah, cool character. I love what they were doing with her in this story. All the antics, and she's super fun to voice as well. I think that came pretty well through the voice that I was giving her and the demeanor. She's fun. She's very fun, and her altar is pretty broken. Especially when, like, right now on the screen you put her in the same team as Golden Glow. It's pretty broken. But yeah, we'll see what happens. She's now the leader of the wolves. So, good God, it's gonna be quite funny to see her appear in front of the other beast aristocrats to you know, talk at the table quotes with the other ones about whatever crisis is unfolding. She definitely feels like she's gonna be like a integral part in whatever crisis is gonna be tried to be prevented by the beast aristocrats. So we'll see. And I think the only character I didn't talk about yet is Ingrid. Good God, what a woman. Also, her partially flirting with Lavinia was very interesting. I don't think she knows about Leon Tutsa. But yeah, probably not proper flirting, but just, you know, what's the word? What's the word I'm trying to find? Provoking, more so than anything else. Provoking to action, probing each other out. But yeah, she found a very interesting target, is all I can say. But yeah, definitely a character, a very cool character, a very bloodthirsty character. Honestly, I didn't really have a clear picture about her, how she could be as a mafiosi, essentially. Considering that Lisa usually always talks about her very, like, you know, like a child about their mother. Oh, she's a great mom, yada yada. She's so nice and everything, and strong, yada yada. You don't really build a picture until you see her here in the story. But damn, damn, what a character! What a when it comes to the mafiosi stuff, what a cold-blooded character. And she has no filter when she goes on a spree. Oh boy, that is something else. But yeah, overall, I am happy that after so many years we finally learned what happened to Lisa. That we finally got to see her mother and meet her mother and even recruit her mother on top of everything. And she's definitely interesting. I do now wanna just see how the dad is. Because the dad is like the last piece of the puzzle to see just the whole family together. I mean, we do have the description that the dad is pretty much being kept in like a shrine because they're praying to him and yada yada, like because of the nine-tail thing. And I don't know, we'll see. I secretly hope that despite everything, they're not gonna over-design the dad. Like, I don't want the dad, considering he's being kept in a shrine and everything. I just want the guy to be like a gentle soul, like a gentle, nice, peace-loving guy who never ever harmed anybody. To be the because I want him to be the opposite of Ingrid, because obviously Ingrid is also a gentle person and everything, especially when it comes to her daughter. But overall, she's pretty cold-blooded, and she killed many people. So the dad being the complete opposite, never harmed anybody, always the nice guy. I kind of want him to be that wholesome, super wholesome person. Just so we have like the complete opposites of attraction. And I don't want him to be over-designed. I want him to be just a normal dude. I just want him to look normal if they ever show him, because that could be absolutely amazing. But yeah, anyhow, we'll see. Ingrid is definitely an interesting character, and her arc is kind of done, which is kind of interesting to see. She appeared, and she completed her objective in a single story. And yeah, now she can just live in peace with her daughter and everybody else on Rhode Island for a while, and can go back and forth between Rhode Island and the whole and the dad and everything back in Higashi. Hey, heck! Now that she's on board, maybe we can finally get a Higashi story that leads to the shrine of wherever Lisa's father is, right? We can get the Higashi story, right? It will happen one day, right? I'm not just dreaming about that or hallucinating, right? It will happen. Same as the Mina story. That will happen one day, right? Anyway, I think we can wrap it up here. I've talked long enough. Me talking for 50 minutes. I think that just shows how much I enjoyed the story. Oh god, but yeah, anyhow, I do need to finish up this video and give it to you guys, so I will go and do so now. But anyhow, thank you guys very much. Hope you enjoyed. I know the series was coming out a bit slower than the previous one, but this was back-to-back two pretty big and pretty impactful stories. So yeah, that took the absolute wind out of me, and I'm very happy that there is not gonna be any new story for what are we now? We're on the 13th, 14th approaching as I'm recording this. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be a story for the next like 3 weeks at least. So I'm gonna enjoy myself for a bit. Gonna do the Let's Plays that I'm doing. Arknights is gonna get its streams in the meantime for those 3 weeks here and there for some IS5 stuff. Yeah, the rest is gonna just proceed as normal on the channel with all the Let's Plays and the stuff and so on and so forth. But yeah, anyhow, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. It would help out a lot if you're new to the channel and you stuck around through this whole ramble spiel at the end. Holy hell, thank you very much. But yeah, please consider subscribing. Would help a lot as well, of course. If you want to support me more directly, memberships are open on the channel. Multiples of them. No video will be behind a membership. It's purely there to support me and my work. And yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in pretty much everything else that comes out on the channel. So have a good one, everybody, and bye-bye. Excuse me, could you submit my application with Chelinius? Hey! Holy shit, Giovanna! I was wondering if you would even show the shit up in this story. Okay. We meet again, Chelinia. She turns around and walks into the landship's hold. Oh shit.
Oh, And Texas?
Wow! Get dumped? You were fun while it lasted. Damn. Damn.